Please click on the subscribe button so you get notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it.
Time for my 5 flaming hot picks for week 6, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's do a little bit of a recap on how we did in week 5. Week 4, we went 5-0. I'm always going to stay week 4 because we were undefeated. But last week, ladies and gentlemen, we went 2-3 on the money line. We went 2-3 on the spread. Commanders over Browns, whoop that ass. Cardinals +7 to cover against my Niners. They sadly all beat us straight up as well. But it's okay, long season. Seahawks -7 over the Giants. I didn't see the Giants whooping that ass. They legitimately came to play, and Seattle, they're right now struggling, especially after Thursday night's debacle with Geno Smith. Granted, Geno is 0-5 against my Niners. Steelers -2.5 over Cowboys. I should have seen that coming, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Fields isn't talented enough or hasn't developed to a point where he can beat Dak. Dak is a better quarterback, and when it came down to a game-winning drive, that came through clutch for the Cowboys. And then the Saints +5.5 to cover over the Chiefs. I was right about the Chiefs winning the game ultimately, but I thought it was going to be a lot closer. Derek Carr just had a shit game, and he also got hurt, so it's okay. We bounced back in week 6, though, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get into this week's picks. So the first game that I'm taking is the Texans -6.5 over the New England Patriots. The Patriots' offensive line, in my opinion, is atrocious. I do believe Drake May is a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett, but putting him in there, first game against the Texans, who I think's defense is playing phenomenal right now, and CJ Stroud, who is an elite caliber quarterback, in my personal opinion. I think Drake May is going to have a welcome to the league moment, and it'll be hitting his first game, and it's okay. He's going to get better, but I just don't see them being able to keep it a close game. I think it'll be close, maybe because there isn't enough tape on Drake May, they can keep it a close game, but ultimately, when the fourth quarter comes, I think the Texans are going to be able to pull away, and I think they're going to be able to cover. I think the game is probably ultimately going to be 20-13, 20-10. I just think the offensive line for the Patriots is that bad, and I think the Texans defense is going to have a field day with. So, ladies and gentlemen, the second game that I'm taking is Eagles on the money line against the Browns. Originally, I was going to take the Browns and the points. The reason why I'm not doing that, ladies and gentlemen, is because their corners are injured. I think the Browns defense with Myles Garrett and the cornerbacks that they have match up extremely well defensively against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the issue with that is with those guys being out and A.J. Brown being back, even though he may be a little bit rusty, and Saquon Barkley having a little bit more rest because of the bye last week, I think the Eagles have a good chance of blowing them out, but I also could see, because there is some conflict between Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, I could see it being a closer game than it should. So I'm taking the Eagles to beat the Browns straight up. The reason why I think it'll be close is because the Browns just got blown out last week to a rookie quarterback. I don't think they're going to go get into Philadelphia and allow themselves to get blown out again. But you never know. I know their offensive line is atrocious and they can't move the ball. So we'll see. We're waiting to see on this game. Just take the Eagles on the money line because I think that's a safe bet here. The third game I'm taking, ladies and gentlemen, is the Commanders +6.5 to cover against the Ravens. You can take the Ravens on the money line. I'm not. I'm just going to take the Commanders to cover +6.5. I think, in my personal opinion, Jayden Daniels is special. He has shown up. He has balled out. And personally, I think the Commanders, their defense and offense right now, is operating at such a high level, something that the Ravens defense is not doing at this very moment. The Ravens this season have only been able to hold Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to 10 points this season. Everybody else has scored 25 or more points. I think Jayden Daniels, who is playing at an elite level, plus their defense, which is coming together right now under head coach Dan Quinn, I think they have a great chance of going into Baltimore and ultimately beating them. I personally believe that Jayden Daniels has better arm talent than Lamar Jackson, even though he is the reigning defending MVP. I think the ceiling for Jayden Daniels is much higher than that of Lamar Jackson. we're going to see a battle of dual threat quarterback, but I think Jaden Daniels may come up on top. But if it doesn't pan out like that, I think the Commanders plus 6.5 to cover against the Ravens is the right choice in my personal opinion. So take the Commanders plus 6.5 to cover against the Baltimore Ravens. So the fourth game that I'm taking, ladies and gentlemen, is the Detroit Lions minus 3.5 to beat the Dallas Cowboys. The reason why is Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Deron Bland, they're just dealing with too many injuries on the defensive side of the ball. The Detroit Lions are coming off a bye week where they're rested, they're healthy. I think Jared Goff is a little bit better than Dak Prescott, especially because he's been to the NFC Championship game. He's been to a Super Bowl. He has had bigger and better moments than Dak Prescott. And after last year's debacle where they should have beat the Cowboys and they did it, I think they're going to come in, they're going to beat that ass. They're going to chew some kneecaps, ladies and gentlemen, in the infamous words of Dan Campbell. So take the Detroit Lions minus 3.5 to beat the Dallas Cowboys. It's just, I think it's too many factors, and Detroit is just too good of a team to not be able to come in and beat the Dallas Cowboys handedly in this game. Last but not least, take the Bengals on the money line against the Giants. Realistically, I think you could take the points here for the Bengals, but I'm taking the money line. Their defense has just been atrocious, and I wouldn't be surprised if even with Malik Neighbors out again this week, Wan'Dale Robinson for the New York Giants, he might be the guy again this week, and they might put up another 30 points. I still think the Bengals, because their season is essentially on the line in this game, are going to just come out and do everything that it takes to win. I think the Bengals, it'll be a field goal game. It might be a 1-point game, but I think ultimately the Bengals end up winning under Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is a quarterback in the class of his own. T. Higgins is, I believe, back now. Jamar Chase is actually playing good football. Joe Burrow is playing great. I think they made a mistake getting rid of Joe Mixon, but the New York Giants don't have a run game. I don't believe Devin Singletary is that caliber of a back, and Malik Neighbors is currently injured, but you never know. Brian Daboll, in my opinion, is an amazing head coach. I just think he doesn't have a good quarterback under Daniel Jones, even though this season at times he has played a lot better. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my 5 flaming hot picks for the week 6 of the NFL season. I got the Texans minus 6.5 over the Patriots. I got the Eagles on the money line against the Browns. I got the Commanders plus 6.5 over the Ravens. I got the Lions minus 3.5 over the Cowboys. And I got the Bengals on the money line, ladies and gentlemen. Make some money on my picks and stay tuned for more.
Guys, have you heard? Shady Mob Productions is an official affiliate of HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and sign up so you can watch hit series like Hard Knocks, Game of Thrones, and House of Dragons. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.